Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for all your interactions and comments on the recent videos. I'm glad you've been enjoying the content that's been going out. And for this video I wanted to do something quick and fun. I'm going to choose 10 things in the collection that I wouldn't want to be without. It's not a top 10, just literally choosing 10 things. Could be statues, figures, comic books, t-shirts even, masks, you know, prop replicas, all that good stuff. I'm going to choose 10 things that I would not be without for my collection. And obviously with it only being 10, I'm going to be leaving out things that you would just think I'm crazy for not including, but just got to keep it real and be honest with you. Some of you may not like this 10 that I'm choosing, but it's just how I'm feeling tonight on this particular date, this particular year. So hope you enjoy this video, folks. Drop a like on it for me, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already, and follow me on Instagram at DeanKnight333. Alright, 10 things in the room that I wouldn't be without. Let's go. Alright folks, so first I've gone with the X Plus gigantic Shin Godzilla. This is a piece I wouldn't be without. I had to have it, and there's so many different versions of Shin Godzilla by X Plus. I think there's about 3, possibly 4 versions of this, including this one. This is the Burning Red edition, which has that glowing skin effect from within. How they do that is, I believe it's made out of like a red translucent vinyl, and they paint the inside of his body silver so that the light reflects and it creates this beautiful effect, like in the movie when he looked like he was just burning from within, and it is an incredible effect. I'll give you a couple of little angles if you're interested. I've done a big review on this piece on the channel, which you can find on my Godzilla playlist on the channel. That's all my reviews, showcase videos, outdoor footage, comparison videos. Go to my channel, the main page, scroll down, and you will see the playlist for Godzilla. But I love this piece. I managed to get it for retail from Bai, the website that helps you get stuff from Japan. And here's the side view, and I have to say there's some really great channels out there that helped me a lot, because it was very daunting in the beginning when I first got that Godzilla bug, specifically the Shin Godzilla bug, and I just had to own something from that film. It was really daunting because there's quite a lot out there. There really is, and it's all from Japan, so it's quite difficult to get hold of. Well, it's not really, you know, once you get used to what you're doing. All those videos on YouTube helped a lot. There's some really great people out there. I didn't talk to many of them, but I watched everything I could find, and got a lot of information that way. Got used to different companies' names and the different, all that stuff. It gets pretty, you know, like I said, it's daunting in the beginning, but I got there just through the helpful videos on YouTube. So, you know, there's some really great folks out there. Too many to name. Made Godzilla scary again, you know, because Shin Godzilla was way more real and frightening. So here's a pretty close look at the head. You can't really even see his eyes from directly in front. Just kind of move to the side to get them. He's a freaky looking Godzilla, that's for sure. I love the teeth, and I love the colour as well, the red and the black, or the charcoal grey, the very dark charcoal grey. It's not really black, is it? But just an awesome design. Mushroom cloud thighs. I've left out that. How could you leave out the werewolf? That's like one of the best movies ever made. Anyway, that's how it goes. Let me just get down low. Oh, this looks good. Oh, see, there you go. I'm gonna have to get a picture of that. Jesus, it's beautiful. See, this is why this piece has to be in here. It's a nice pose as well. Just a nice little turn in the waist there. He's just turning, looking around at stuff. And it's really creepy as well because his eyes are looking down. So as he's moving, he's looking down at all these little ants. That's us. As we fire everything we've got at him, not making him even flinch for a second. Yeah, he's beautiful. Okay, I will move on now to the next piece. But first I'm taking some pictures for the gram. Okay, I know, forgive me, it's another Shin Godzilla piece. We'll do this quickly and then no more Godzilla, I promise. This is the 30 centimeter Yuji Sakai sculpt of Shin Godzilla by X Plus, and this is one of the hardest things to get hold of for me personally, because the aftermarket price was ridiculous, especially for this version, the Rick version they call it, and then that has the translucent skin that glows just like the big one that you just saw. But the pose, the classic just upright, that's what I love about this one, because that's my favorite look for Shin Godzilla, when he first emerged in his fourth form and he was just upright, hands up, tail up in the air, behind him straight, pretty much just kind of going back and forth like a snake. Just awesome. So definitely a piece I would not be without. But I'm just being real with you folks. This is the stuff that you're going to see in this video that right now at this time means the most to me and that I wouldn't be without. It could be a pretty different list if I was to do it next week, but we're doing it now, so this is what I'm really into. So we'll move on from the Godzilla stuff, because I know a lot of you are not into it, but you damn well should be. It's some pretty cool stuff. It's very fun getting into this. There's so much out there. There's so many versions of Godzilla. Since 1954, they've been pretty regular with the incarnations, the movies. There's so many. There's something for everyone, I really like Shin Godzilla the most. Then I think it's the GMK version, and 84, 85. I don't have the original one from 1954. I never did get around to that. I should do, really, and maybe I will in the future. There's plenty of versions to choose from, so we'll see. But yeah, my Godzilla videos don't exactly get a lot of views. I know that's not what a lot of people subscribe to me for, but I'm just being, like I said, I'm just being real. I get these bursts of obsessions over certain things, like I got into Godzilla all of a sudden, then I got into Star Wars again, then I go back to Batman Begins, then I get back into my horror stuff, werewolves, Michael Myers, Catwoman, go just all over the place. Westerns, I got into cowboys figures in a big way a couple of months back, and that's kind of faded now, but it'll come back. I'm glad everything I got is here. But yeah, let's move on to the next piece. Alright, next we have the Sideshow Collectibles T800 T2 Terminator 2 Judgment Day Endoskull bust. I got it from Secret Compass, which apparently is still going, so I hope they're doing well. This is the only thing I ever bought from them, but they were really, really cool. They let me do installments, payments on this thing, and I was finally able to get it. It's the very best. Red eyes that glow, the chip that you can take out of the top of the head, it's all there. The gap in the teeth at the front, just like Arnie. It's too heavy for the rotating base, so I will turn it to the side and let you get a view, but this has got a review on the channel. Okay, now here's the side view. It's just as awesome looking as the front. And it's chrome plated, very, very heavy, this piece. Always freezing cold to the touch. And it's about as real as it gets. I've said before, but I've found, even with the Sideshow Collectibles life-size complete endoskeletons that you can get, and they're very expensive I would imagine, but from the videos I've seen of them, because there's a whole endoskeleton to replicate and sell, and obviously they're going to try to keep the price as reasonable as possible for a full life-size endoskeleton, I just noticed that the heads don't look as accurate or as detailed or as good as this, which I assume is down to the fact that they have to concentrate on a whole piece, or they have to make some allowances for things because of the fact they're doing a whole endoskeleton. I don't know, but honestly, I've seen quite a few videos, and I always think that when it comes to actually nailing the likeness to the Terminator 2 Endoskull, you can't beat this. And apparently this was made from the same molds as the Endoskulls from the movie T2, and Stan Winston was on hand to oversee this project by Sideshow and make sure that it was absolutely perfect, which I do believe it is. So this is another piece that I would not be without. Just to mention, folks, this piece here, the Hot Toys quarter scale endoskeleton from Terminator 1, really should have been in this 10 things that I'm choosing, but I was trying not to double up too much. I'd already doubled up on Shin Godzillas and I was running out of space on the list. I had to choose those two Shins though, because genuinely I wouldn't be without them if I can help it. But I had to choose between this figure or the actual Sideshow bust, and I decided if it came down to it and I had to only have one of those, it would be the bust. So, but this piece is obviously flawlessly balls out amazing. Forget about it. Must get. Grail. Alright, up next, it's the Beast, the Enterbay Batman, quarter scale figure, and I absolutely would not be without him. He's got a big history on my channel. I've done so many videos on this piece. Just an absolutely phenomenal figure. Enterbay killed it, first time. Hot Toys have made this particular suit a number of times now, maybe 6 or 7 times, and it's still not right. Enterbay got it right the very first time, and never had to go back and correct anything. It's just an amazing piece. I do have a custom velvet cape that I made on him, but the cape he came with was fantastic, really well thought out, and drapes around the whole body very well. It was designed with that in mind, and it was that level of attention to detail and passion that Enterbay put into this piece that makes it stand apart from everything else. It has a hell of a presence. Everyone who's ever owned it, will agree with that, I'm sure, for the most part. Beautiful piece. I love it so much. I'll give you a few more angles. The suit is incredible. It's a beautiful kind of material. It's smooth to the touch. It doesn't attract dust. It feels great when you touch it. But the side profile on the cowl, the likeness to Christian Bale, absolutely stunning. And here's a view from the front. It was a shame Enterbay never took a crack at the Dark Knight suit, because considering how well they did with the Batman Begins suit, I would have loved to have seen their attempt at that. Also, the Bruce Wayne head that came with this figure is really, really good. Still to this day, it's one of my absolute favorites. Not that I use it much. I don't really use a Bruce Wayne head with any of my figures apart from the Ninja Bruce Wayne, but that's got a mask over his head, the Ninja League of Shadows look. It's interesting with the black velvet curtains behind Batman and his black velvet cape. They're kind of merging into one thing. But let me get in real close and just show you that likeness to Christian Bale. One of the only companies to get the colour of his eyes right as well. Hazel green. Alright, now just notice the shape of the cowl as well from the front. Notice around the jawline how accurate it looks. Alright, we'll move on, folks, but I have done plenty of videos on this piece over the years. You want to see more of it, you certainly can. Just type in Dean Knight 333 and Batman Enterbay into YouTube and you'll get about 100 videos to choose from. Alright, we'll move on to the next piece. This one really is special to me though. Favourite film of all time and the reason I started this channel. Up next we have the Tots Halloween 2018 Michael Myers mask, and this is my personal copy. I rehauled this completely from, stripped it bald as a plucked chicken and rehaired it twice now. This is the second time I've done the hair. Much happier with the colour of the hair this time, and I've spent a good deal of time working on the styling of the hair. It's never really finished with these things with me. I always end up going back and tweaking things and adding something or taking something away. It's just how it is with me. I'm never really done with something. But this is one of my absolute prized possessions. I worked so hard on this mask over the course of about 2.5 weeks on and off. I'd take a couple of days away, go do something else and come back. I studied the hell out of all the reference pictures for the hero mask. I even managed to get 2 photographs from the man himself, Christopher Nelson, who was nice enough to send me 2 pictures of his his hero mask that was used, in his words, a lot in the film. It's the one that he has in the glass case behind him on the Thing with Two Heads podcast that you see. I'm always just trying to squint and see the mask in the background when they're doing those. I just love the H40 and I worked so hard on this. I'm so proud of it. I'd never get rid of it. I zoomed in on those 2 photographs that he sent me of the hero mask. I studied every little line, dot, detail, blotch discoloration, just everything. And I spent, like I said, 2.5 weeks just copying as much as I could, taking my time and just really taking it slow, and the result is what you see on the screen here. I'd never get rid of it. I do these masks for folks if they want them. I do 1978 Michael Myers masks, I do the H40, I do Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, I also do Art the Clown masks, and I have a bunch of Tot's discontinued Captain Kirk masks here, if anyone wants a Michael Myers mask converted from a Captain Kirk like it was in the original movie. So I love doing it. It's something that you can always just keep working on and try to get better at. Well, by the way, folks, the beautiful display base with the Halloween name is by Matt Weaver on Instagram, and his actual account on Instagram is called Wicked Designs, and he does great work. Beautiful addition to your mask display. Check him out. I don't know if I'll ever top this H40. I certainly do try, but like I said, I did spend a long time on this particular one. Usually if I'm doing a mask for a friend, I'll spend about 2, 3, 4 days on it. But it doesn't mean I can't spend 2.5 weeks on someone's mask. It's just a matter of whether they have the patience for that. It is worth it in the end. It's best not to rush stuff like this. But anyway, folks, this is something I would definitely not be without. It's my favourite mask out of all the Halloween masks, out of any mask from any movie, to be honest. I just love the H40, even more than the original. I know that's crazy, but there's something about it. I love just the history on the face. You can still see the original shape there, but he's aged 40 years and it's all there. All the weathering, all the history, all the violence. It's quite terrifying. There it is, the Trick or Treat Studios Halloween 2018 Michael Myers mask rehold by me. Next we have the 1/6 Dog Soldiers Werewolf custom figure by Bree Toons on Instagram. I love this piece and I wouldn't be without it. Dog Soldiers is one of my favourite films of all time. It's my favourite horror movie ever. Check it out if you haven't seen it. Dog Soldiers. It's about 20 years old now, but it's still one of the top 3 best werewolf films of all time. For me, that top 3 is, not in any order right now, but Dog Soldiers, The Howling, and American Werewolf in London. I also really like Bad Moon, Silver Bullet, and a whole bunch of others, but those are the main ones for me. It really does come down to the look of the werewolf. Not that I've ever been much of a fan of quadruped werewolves, like werewolves that run on all fours, like the American Werewolf in London design, but I do love that werewolf. That's the exception. The Hound from Hell, they nailed it. So more of a biped fan, on its hind legs like a man, but with the head of a wolf and long claws, and that is exactly what the Dog Soldiers Werewolf is. An amazing film, really low budget, just great practical effects. I did an interview on this channel, thinking about it now, with one of the producers of the movie, and he explained that it was all saved in editing. Like, they had some real bad trouble with the animatronics and the werewolf suits on the shoot, and they managed to rescue the movie just in the editing room. But it worked. It's still up there with some of the best horror movies ever made for me. I'll zoom in and give you some close-up footage, but Bree Toons is actually working on a second version of this figure with a seamless body. This one's quite crude in that you can see the joints quite obviously, but I like that about it. It's got this prototype kind of feel, like it's almost like you can imagine it when they were making the movie in the early stages and they were designing the werewolf and talking about how it should look. and maybe they would have something like this that was just mocked up by someone that was able to create it for them, so they could visualize what was going to be coming after the soldiers in the movie. So I really like this crude look to it. It oozes passion. Bree Toons obviously spent a lot of hard work on this, and I don't know how many he did when he did this run. I think it was like maybe 3 or 4. So I'm one of the lucky people out there in the world that has one of these. I don't know who else has them, but I don't think I've ever seen another YouTube video on them. But yeah, looking forward to seeing what he does with the seamless body version, and hopefully I can get my hands on one. And I look forward to bringing you more on the channel soon when it comes to werewolf stuff, because I love me some werewolves. This is something I would not be without. Next up we have the Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale Darth Vader from Return of the Jedi. Almost completely stock Sideshow figure apart from his tunic or underrobes, whatever you call them. They are actually something I got from a chap called Kyle. If you're watching, hi Kyle. He sold me his Hot Toys Empire Strikes Back Vader underrobes to go on the figure, because that was the only thing that was a bit lacking on the Sideshow piece. But I love this figure. It's 14 inches tall. It's very imposing, and it may very well be the only Vader I ever need. We'll see how that goes, but I think I'm going to hang on to this one because I did sell my Rogue One Vader from Hot Toys some years ago and missed him after a while, so decided on, after a lot of research, for me, like I mentioned in the reviews, the main factors in choosing this one were the height, the undersuit not perishing as quickly as Hot Toys ones, from what I've read on different forums. Apparently the Sideshow materials are a bit tougher and durable, don't tend to perish as quickly as the pleather material that Hot Toys use. I love the cape on this one, I love the boots, the fact that they're plastic and not pleather, so they'll last, and this lightsaber as well. I prefer the way that looks on the Sideshow figure. Just zoom in a little bit here. Love the light up feature, that works really well. And just a hell of a piece. Very commanding in the collection. Really owns the shelf that it's on, no matter who else is up there with him. So right now, how I'm feeling, this is a piece that I wouldn't be without, because Vader, Darth Vader, Lord Vader, is the most iconic big screen villain of all time. You know, other ones that come to mind are the T-1000, very high up there, but Vader really is the king. Next up is my 1/6 scale custom Adam Hughes Catwoman / Selina Kyle, my absolute favourite version of Catwoman. I love Adam Hughes' vision of Selina Kyle. He very much based the likeness on Audrey Hepburn, and you can see my framed comics above the shelves in the collection room tour videos. I never thought I'd get this version of Catwoman in 1/6 scale. For those of you that have been following the channel for a number of years, you'll know that for a good few years leading up to getting this ultimate piece, I was striving for something close to this, taking the Sideshow Catwoman figure and repainting the heads myself, then getting more spare heads of the Sideshow Catwoman on eBay and sending them to different artists to repaint them, and they look amazing. I still have them, but it wasn't quite this. Then I discovered 1/6 Visage on Instagram, and he made this incredible head sculpt, and Gwyneth on Facebook made the outfit, and I'm using a TB League Firesin body and some Sideshow parts like the boots, the belts, the hands, and the handcuffs are from the DX Heath Ledger Joker, the DX11, and she's got the Sideshow goggles, and I added the little silver tags, the little silver loop on her zip myself, and the whip is Sideshow as well. But couldn't be without this piece. I'll zoom in and give you some close-ups on her. She is absolutely stunning. An amazing head sculpt by 1/6 Visage. Alright, now there are plenty of videos already on the channel of this piece, much closer looks, a lot of pose sessions. I did one in particular where I took the kind of dancing pole from the Suicide Squad Hot Toys Harley Quinn in the gold and black dress, and I had Catwoman using that pole, and I created a backdrop and made it look like she was on a stage. Hunt down that video, type into YouTube Dean Knight 333 Adam Hughes Catwoman figure, and there'll be plenty of videos that will come up, but look for that particular one where she's dancing on stage. Beautiful piece. Has to be in this video. This is definitely one of the pieces I would not be without. The 1/6 scale custom Adam Hughes Catwoman with clothing by Gwyneth on Facebook and head sculpt by the amazing 1/6 Visage on Instagram. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Okay, you knew it was coming. It's the Perfect 78, which it really is. There's quite a few out there. I'm not saying I have the only Perfect 78, folks. Don't get upset. You also probably have a Perfect 78 because there's more than one Madbug V2 head sculpt out there, and Silent Surfer has painted more than mine. So they are out there. They exist. This is just 1/6 scale perfection when it comes to the shape. The original iconic horror character who lives to this very day in all of our hearts and minds and spines when we're alone in the dark and we feel a presence lurking behind us. This is something I would not be without. Head sculpt is the Madbug V2, painted and haired by the notorious Silent Surfer. Coveralls are the final run Yunsil's, beautiful. The knife is a Shadow Fergo knife. Boots are Platoon Vietnam jungle boots that I believe these ones were the ones that Anthony Sang and Budget Stark got me in Hong Kong, and they were awesome to do that. And he's on a body with, Bruce Banner body by Hot Toys, that's it, with the double bend elbows. It's been a while since I've mentioned that. Right, quick little close-up and then we'll move on to the final piece in this video. But yes, this, folks, is 1/6 scale custom Michael Myers figure. Not something you can easily get. You know, the Madbug V2 head sculpt, hard to get. Getting it painted and haired by Silent Surfer. Coveralls, expensive, not easy to come by, and Shadow Fergo can pretty much sort you out one of the knives. So it's just a lot of work, but well worth it in the end to have such an amazingly accurate representation of the original shape in 1/6 scale. Alright, a little bit of a closer view before we move on. But again, this is something I've covered in great detail many times on the channel. So if you're watching this and seeing it for the first time, once again, type in my channel name and what you're looking for, and it'll all come up on the screen for you. And there's a lot of videos on this piece on the channel, post sessions, figure in the diorama that Glenn Page made me of the top of the stairs in Halloween 1 when he stops after Tommy says you can't kill the boogeyman. Beautiful diorama, check out those videos. And yeah, this is definitely something I would not be without. And to finish things up, and this was difficult because I have two incredible 1/6 scale custom Batman Begins. They're not completely custom, you always have to use the Hot Toys body and suit because there's just no custom Batman Begins suits being made, and I get why, it can't be easy. But head sculpts and capes, and maybe other little parts here and there you can certainly get. Like I said, I've got two really good versions. I decided to use the OT Customs version for this video, and I feel bad leaving out the one with the Unreal Customs head because I wouldn't be without that either. Never would I let that go. I love it. But as an all-round ultimate figure, because of the suit that this one is wearing, it is the latest version of the Hot Toys Batman Begins body and suit, but it's the later batch where it was no longer shiny. This arrived to me, this body that I bought on eBay separately, arrived completely just perfect, just matte finish, flawless, not a mark on it, and I'm so happy to have this new body because it's just completed this figure so well. It's got the OT Customs Batman Begins head with the moving eyes and the interchangeable mouth plates. It's got an OT Customs cape, and the rest is all of the most recent Batman Begins Hot Toys figure, but actually it does have the Takara Batman Begins gauntlets on him. And that's it. Those are the figures I've chosen, and I'm looking around the room as I'm saying this and I'm seeing things that damn well should be in this video, and I'm sure you've got figures in your mind if you're familiar with what I have that you think should be here too, but it is just 10 things that I was choosing from, and that certainly is tricky. So we'll wrap things up with a little close-up here. It's just an absolutely incredible custom head sculpt. It's like Hot Toys quality. I mean, it's using, well, he makes his own eyes now. I think back when he did this one here, which was kind of a prototype from the actual finished product that everyone else is getting, I think he was using Hot Toys eyes for this one, but now he makes them himself, and I don't know how he does that. They looked incredible on Instagram. If you go to OT Customs Instagram page and look at the work he does, kind of amazing, to be honest with you. It's ridiculously on point, crazy accurate. And hopefully one day I'll get to show you some Dark Knight stuff. I got the quarter scale Dark Knight, and I've got a few versions of him in 1/6 scale, and I need to get around to sorting that out with OT Customs, and I'll bring you videos on that hopefully in the future. But the main thing I really am happy about getting sorted out is the Batman Begins, because that's my favorite look. That's the suit I care about the most, and it's absolutely perfect, this one that we're seeing here in front of us. So massive shout out to OT Customs for doing such an amazing job on this, and I absolutely love this piece. No way I'd be without it. So let me know what you think in the comments, folks. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's just been something quick to do tonight, just to get some more content up on the channel. And always good to hear from you. Hope you're doing well. Look after yourselves and each other, and enjoy the hobby. I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye bye.